Have you ever woken up and just felt empty? Like you're moving through your day as an outsider, not really feeling joy or sadness, just this numb, distant sense of existence? Maybe you can't remember when you last felt truly alive. If this sounds familiar, you're not broken. There's actually a powerful reason why your emotions seem to have disappeared. Today on the Growth Mindset Project, I'm revealing the secret to feeling alive again and guiding you on practical steps to process emotion and overcome emotional numbness so you can reclaim your life. If you're ready to grow and transform your mindset, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss out on more videos just like this one. So why do we go numb? Why is it sometimes so unbelievably hard to process emotion or even know what we're feeling at all? You've probably heard the advice that naming your emotion is the first step towards healing. But what happens when you feel blank? Not happy, not sad, just flat? Like life is happening, but you're watching it from a distance? First, you're not alone. Emotional numbness is surprisingly common. It can look like this: losing interest in things that used to make you excited, feeling detached from people, being unable to cry even when you think you should, or feeling like a spectator in your own life. Sometimes you wonder if there's something deeply wrong with you. But what if I told you that this numbness is actually your body's ancient protective response to overwhelming stress? Our brains and nervous systems are wired for survival. When we face danger or stress, we instinctively try to fight or flee. But sometimes the danger is so big or so persistent, maybe a traumatic event, ongoing grief, or relentless stress, that we end up somewhere else entirely. The scientific name is the shutdown or freeze response, and this is where numbness lives. With all of that said, it's vital to recognize that numbing out is not a conscious choice. You didn't decide to disconnect from your emotions. It's your nervous system's automated way of saying, "That was too much for me, I need to protect you." So if you feel numb, if it's just too hard to process emotion, you're not weak. Your body is doing its best to keep you safe. Let's go a bit deeper. Why does this happen? There are several reasons your body might choose numbness. Overwhelm or trauma is one of the leading triggers. When emotional pain is unbearable, your system pulls the plug. Grief can show up as flatness just as often as it does as tears. Chronic stress and burnout soak your system in stress hormones. Eventually, the system gets exhausted and just shuts down to preserve itself. Depression is another common cause. It doesn't just erase joy, it dulls our ability to feel all emotions. For some, numbness is a learned survival strategy. If you grew up in a home where it wasn't safe to feel, you might have unconsciously taught yourself to shut off your emotions as protection. It's also worth noting that biological or medical issues, such as certain mental health conditions, long-term exhaustion, illness, even side effects from medication, can all contribute to emotional numbness. If you think your situation might be medical, speaking to a professional can help. But for many, numbness is not a sign of brokenness. It's your body's way of protecting you when things feel overwhelming. Now, the good news is that if your system learned to go numb, it can also learn how to process emotion again and teach itself to feel. Before we get into how to do that, if something here resonates with you, take a moment to hit the like button and share your experience in the comments below. Which of these reasons stand out for you, or what does numbness feel like in your world? Let's talk practical steps. The mistake most of us make is either trying to force ourselves to feel something or thinking our way out of numbness. Pushing yourself to snap out of it just adds more stress. Intellectualizing keeps you in your head, not your body. True change comes from gentle curiosity, beginning to process emotion step by step. Here are 5 powerful ways to start processing emotion and feeling alive again. First, stop fighting numbness. Notice it with curiosity and kindness. Imagine yourself as a scientist, with your own body as the subject. Ask, where do I feel numbness in my body? What does it actually feel like? Sometimes, the absence of feeling is itself a feeling. If you stay gently curious, you might find layers beneath the nothingness, subtle tension, heaviness, or coldness. Each of these sensations is a clue that you're beginning to process emotion, even if it doesn't look or feel dramatic. Remind yourself, it's okay for me to feel nothing right now. If you allow yourself this space, your nervous system may start to feel a little safer, a little more open day by day. Second, because numbness is a body state, not a thinking problem, begin to gently reconnect with your senses. Touch an object with texture, notice the colors around you, or listen closely to music. Really tune in. Even letting warm water from a shower hit your skin and mindfully noticing how it feels can help your system start to wake up. These grounding, sensory experiences invite your brain back into the present moment, an essential step to truly process emotion. Third, movement is medicine. Even if all you can manage is a walk around the block, a stretch, or shaking out your hands, movement wakes up your nervous system. Research shows that exercise helps us regulate emotion, improves mood, and moves us from shutdown back into a state of possibility. Fourth, restore your sense of safety, both internally and externally. Look around your room. Move your head and eyes. Remind yourself, here, right now, I am safe enough. Connection is essential. Make eye contact. Hug a loved one, or a pet, or simply be present with someone who cares. Even visualizing a safe place or listening to a safe playlist can help, as can giving yourself permission to rest if you're overwhelmed. Safety is a message to your whole system. We can handle this. Fifth, communicate with your numbness. Often, beneath numbness is a massive, scary emotion. Numbness is standing in front of the door, guarding it. Ask yourself gently, numbness, what are you trying to protect me from? Maybe you hear an answer, maybe not. Thank this part of you for keeping you safe in the past. If you feel ready, make a request. Would you be willing to step aside, just a little, so I can begin to process emotion that's waiting underneath? Remember, you don't need to force anything. Small steps are enough. A bonus step, if you struggle to name or feel emotion, you can act out the emotion you think might be hiding beneath the numbness. For example, if a loss made you feel numb, but you know grief must be involved, describe what grief looks like. How would someone move, talk, breathe? Even pretending to sob or acting sad as if you're on stage can sometimes open up space for real emotion to start moving through you. It's awkward, but surprisingly powerful. There's no rushing the process. As you practice curiosity, body awareness, gentle grounding, movement, safety, and compassionate self-talk, your capacity to process emotion returns. Numbness isn't your enemy. It's your first signal that your system needs care, not criticism. If you're finding this video valuable, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below about your own journey to process emotion and reclaim your aliveness. Every time you choose compassion over force, every moment you treat yourself kindly and stay curious, even about the emptiness, you rewire your brain to process emotion in healthy ways. Over time, you'll notice more sensation in your body, more color in your days, and a deeper ability to feel, connect, and truly live. When numbness has become a long-term companion, it might be best to seek help and support alongside these exercises. You don't have to do it alone, and gentle support can make a huge difference as you relearn how to process emotion and feel safe doing so. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Growth Mindset Project. If you're ready to keep growing and transform your relationship with emotions, check out our playlist on embodiment and emotional regulation right over here. And don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss a new video. Remember, you can feel alive again, one small step at a time.